Alright, I want to share this account I've been working on for a little while. Nothing too crazy. Well, I say that I'm already in mid-game, but this is an account that almost essentially is an RP account in a way. When I played RuneScape as a kid, I liked to pretend I was the archer or the wizard. I would only use magic or range, and then I would allow myself to use a dagger as a backup tool. You know, no using scimitars as a wizard, because that doesn't really make sense. Well, now that, you know, we have our snowflake irons now, it's gone a long way, I can actually do this now. So I have my main iron that I play for fun, which originally was a magic only, but I now have this wizard only, which is a little different than magic only. The main restrictions being that I can't wear any gear that has a negative attack penalty, in combat at least. Like, out of combat, it's case by case basis. And as for weapons, all magic weapons are fine. Anything that's a throw damage type, I'm allowing myself to use. And as for standard and heavy range damage, for standard I can only use salamanders, and for heavy I can only use chinchompas. I'm not using chinchompas to farm range XP, but in combat if I need to use heavy damage, that's what I will be using. And then as for melee, it's only daggers and claws, because claws are fun. No one ever uses claws for actual damage, and to a point, it kinda is good for me, but it's just restrictions in a way that seem fun, but mostly gonna be using magic. Quick gear here. It's a mess right now because I haven't sorted all this, but a lot of magic weapons, whatnot. I do have my tools, and I had to use the ogre bow for the chompy bird hunting. There's no getting around that, unfortunately, but I give myself an excuse because it's not really combat per se. It's not like it's fighting back, and just because you can shoot during hunting doesn't mean you can go into battle with it, if you know what I mean. So I kind of give myself that that little excuse there. And then as for gear, we have our main magic gear. This is my actually defensive gear, but it's also very nice to look at, the actual like main outfit. And then we have the range setup, which as you can see doesn't actually have a negative bonus to my magic. Well, this one does because I'm wearing magic gloves, so it looks like it, but yeah. So there's very weird items that I can wear. This is actually the best my range is gonna get for a long time, which kind of sucks, but I mean that's the point of playing an RP account. And other potions, food and stuff, like there's not, my account's not too crazy at the moment. And I did a lot of clues. I stopped doing clues after I got my vestment pieces, so I got my robe legs and robe top. And I mainly was doing a bunch of clues for god pages, which pain in the ass. The only one I haven't done is Unholy Book, but I've got everything else done. Which the main ones I really needed were the Book of Darkness and the Book of Law. And Unholy Book, technically, because that was going to be my best in slot for the like melee attack bonuses, since I can't use defenders. But they recently added the Antler Guard, which does have a positive attack bonus for magic, so I can use that. Though I will be suffering even more penalties to my defense, which is not very fun. As for quests, I did put it to what I have done. You know, a lot of the free-to-play ones are done, obviously. Most of them. I haven't finished Corsairs and Dragon Slayer. Mainly because trying to figure out how to fight Elvarg with magic feels like a pain at the moment. Because he actually doesn't have a elemental weakness like the other dragons do. And then a lot of the members quests I've done a lot of quests. I mainly use it to get that bonus XP at the start to help jumpstart a lot of the leveling, as well as unlocking a lot of places and gear. We just did the Tower of Life so I can get this music playing. Yeah, that's all I've got so far. Put it back to normal. I need to start doing the Fremnik stuff eventually. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Most of my gameplay has been honestly on mobile. Being able to play at work, in my bed, or whatever. And so I don't really have a whole lot of actual recordings of things I've done. I do have recording of my fight against Delrith, which turns out you can actually cast spells with not Excalibur, the Silverlight equipped, and it still does that final damage you need. But it gets a little tricky once you start getting to, I think it was Shadow of the Storm, because you need Darklight equipped, but the guy has a lot of, actually no, they changed it recently with the Elemental Weakness update with the Summer Sweep up, so I think the guy, I forget his name in Shadow of the Storm, the demon, I think he actually has a Elemental Weakness now, so I can actually kill him, but you still need to have Darklight equipped, and you need to be within one tile of him, and I don't want to accidentally swing at him, you know, so it'll be a little tricky to pull that off, but we'll have to do it eventually. But most of the account stuff at the moment is very generic. There's not really much to show, you know, aside from the questing. I sat at crabs for a while. I've been doing a lot of pickpocketing to get those easy clues at wealthy citizens, which I think if we go here we can see how many I've done actually. So yeah, I've done 397 easy clues. My loot doesn't really look as good because I was pulling a lot of those Intrana caskets, mainly to get all those pages. Oh my gosh, it took forever. Just told myself I'd be in and out for the Book of Law, but turns out that was the second to last one I got. I got it at 360, actually. But yeah, that's where the account's at right now. I think, kind of just been enjoying a lot of the Varlamore updates with the fletching. My main goal, I did get 60 range for, what was it, Morning's End? Yeah, this is done actually. So we got 60 range for Morning's End. So I just need to go ahead and do these quests, and I should be good to go with that. Lunar Diplomacy and Dream Tutor, obviously, for our lunar spells. I want to get a Kingdom Divided, so I can start getting those advanced Arceus spells. The only problem is trying to kill Zamfir with this account really sucks. It's a pretty easy fight when you've got full range gear and a rune crossbow. It's really easy, but I'm done with that actually. But considering my restrictions on throwing weapons, at the moment, I mean, I put on my shitty ass range. I could make mithril darts now, so I could do that, plus a Book of Law, but god, the DPS is gonna be terrible. The other thing you probably saw here is Hunter Spears, which 60 fletching for that. That's also why I've been doing the Varlamore stuff. 60 fletching. I have some of the materials here already under my, yeah, the Jerboa tails, but I don't have a whole lot. I have 584, so I can't really use them as like main hand training. The other options I have for ranged with throwing me aside from throwing chinchompas, but I really don't want to do that. If I go to... what is it? The Tsar City? They have those little throwing discs that are actually pretty strong. I think they're about as equal strength as a magic short bow with rune arrows. But they are very expensive. And it's not something I like actively want to try and get outside of maybe boss encounters. Or we'll go over and check those real quick. Oh yeah, Magic Arena. Our Mage Arena, I should say. I finished that recently as well. So we got our newly upgraded mage gear. I wonder if I can... we're gonna go over here. This is our... actually, I don't... he's up there. Sword shop. I don't know if they sell the weapons. I think they do sell the weapons here. Kind of been holding off a lot of Tsar stuff because if I want to buy anything here, I really need to start selling Chaos Runes. And if I want to get Chaos Runes, I have to start leveling. Okay, yeah, I can. I have to level rune crafting, so I have to do a lot more of the Guardians of the Rift. But it costs 325, which I think it's... I do have my, yeah, Karamta gloves on. 325 for one, which is... that's expensive. Roughly about 300, yeah, something like that. Oh yeah. So, for the price of getting the dagger, which this is another good item for me. This one, not as much. This one is. It's expensive, man. At the rate of, what, 9 Tokul per Chaos Rune? Do I open up my calculator real quick? We'll do. So I need to sell 37 Chaos Runes per one of these. Which is about 3.3k. Can you imagine 3.3k per arrow? That's assuming like I bought individual Chaos Runes. So they're very expensive, but they're very strong for my account if I feel like spending that much. Maybe when I start farming barrows more, or if I'm doing a lot of Guardians of the Rift and I have a ton of chaos to spare. I have been considering though, now that I have been working on a lot of my thieving. Down here is these paladins. Obviously, I think I want to get thieving as my first 99. I've never had thieving as a 99 before. I kind of really want it because a lot of the benefits are nice nowadays. Oh, it's a warrior. Paladins over here. Yeah. The nice thing about these paladins is they give Chaos Runes. 2 per pickpocket. Bit amount of gold. So if I have that, goodness mercy. Turn it down a bit. So that should give me a good amount of Chaos Runes if I'm leveling to 99 off paladins, which, you know, probably not the most effective way to do it, but it gives me a lot of stuff I can use. I can use those Chaos Runes to train, to buy gear. If I had a huge stack of those obsidian rings, that'd actually be really nice. But for the time being, I'm just doing a lot of scaling. There's not a whole lot to show. I have killed Scurius, which, you know, there's not much to Scurius as a fight. I do have the bone staff now. But mainly looking forward to a lot of the in-game stuff. We did have Doom of Mokaitel come out, and I've been brainstorming how in the world I'm going to do that, which, if we get there, we'll talk about how it's going to work, but for the time being I don't need to worry about it too much. Mainly just working towards our goals here, which should update my goals list here and add Divided. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now, and maybe in a few weeks, maybe a month or something, I'll post another video showing our update progress. But that's about it.